watch on Netflix.
OMG, they have Free Willy. We have to watch. Orcas are my favorite animal.
Mine too. Do you have a favorite ecotype?
What's an ecotype?
I'm glad you asked. Ecotypes are genetically distinct populations within a species. There are 5 orca ecotypes in the northern hemisphere and 4 ecotypes in the southern hemisphere. But today I'm going to be talking about the 3 in the North Pacific. These 3 North Pacific ecotypes arose from sympatric speciation, which is when a species emerges within the range of the ancestral species. And these 3 ecotypes arose not because of physical barriers to gene flow, but because of exploitation of different niches that led to reproductive isolation. The ecotypes are distinct in their habitat, morphology, diet, and behavior. Resident orcas are found from California to Russia, and they have a slightly leaning forward dorsal fin, and sometimes they have an open saddle patch. Transient orcas are found throughout waters in the Pacific Northwest, and they have a closed saddle patch and a relatively straight dorsal fin. Offshore orcas are the last ecotype, and they are found in the North Pacific, and they have a fainter saddle patch than all the other orcas, and they also have a more rounded dorsal fin. The biggest of the ecotypes is the transients, and the smallest are the offshore. Here is a better picture of how rounded the offshore orca's dorsal fin is, whereas the resident whales is a little more falcate and forward-leaning.
Whoa, those differences are so subtle. There's no way I could tell them apart from just a picture.
Luckily, all 3 ecotypes have other differences as well. Residents, transients, and offshore orcas all fill different niches, so they have different diets. Resident orcas eat a variety of fish, but primarily consume salmon. The southern resident orcas are an endangered population of orcas in the U.S., and part of the reason they are endangered is because of the low availability of Chinook salmon, their preferred prey. Transient orcas are the mammal-eating orcas, so they eat animals such as sea lions, seals, porpoises, and even baleen whales.
So if resident orcas eat fish and transient orcas eat whales, what do offshore orcas eat? Sharks?
They do, actually. Less is known about offshore orcas because they're rarely seen, so we don't know much about their preferred prey type. However, they have been seen eating sharks and fish, which explains their worn-down teeth and scratches on their dorsal fin.
Wow, I had no idea that orcas ate sharks or baleen whales. They really are apex predators.
They sure are. But they're more than apex predators. Orcas are highly intelligent creatures that form bonds and communicate with one another. Resident orcas live in matrilineal groups, led by the oldest female, her offspring, and her daughter's offspring. Related matrilines will come together to form something called a pod. Resident orcas are also very vocal, and they sound something like this. Transient orcas have more fluid social groups that tend to be smaller, but they do have close associations with their relatives. Transients don't vocalize as much because they are stealth hunters, but when they do vocalize, they sound a little something like this. Don't worry, I didn't forget about offshores. Less is known about offshore's social structure because they are not seen as much. However, they have been spotted in large groups. Scientists also know that they tend to vocalize about as much as residents, although their vocalizations are distinct from both transients and residents.
Wow, that was a lot of information. Although I don't think I have a favorite ecotype, they're all pretty cool in their own way.
Agreed. Are you finally ready to watch Free Willy?
Yeah, but I wonder what ecotype Willy is.
That seems like a problem for another day. should we?
One action.
Don't worry, I didn't Oh, action.
So, if resident orcas eat fish and transient orcas eat whales, what do offshore orcas? Frick.
Ecotypes are genetically distinct populations within a species. There are 5 orca ecotypes in the Northern Hemisphere and sorry. The ecotypes are distinct in their
Whoa, those differences are so subtle. Okay, no.